So this is a resonance board, and although are quite expensive to buy, they're actually quite easy to make. And just simply they are a piece of plywood on a narrow frame. And their purpose is to resonate sound, but they are really good to encourage children to look at where their bodies are in space, to locate sound, direction, and actually to encourage anticipation. You can use absolutely nothing on a resonance board, and the child should just initially be introduced by using their hands and their feet, because that enables them to start to get used to it, and simply by tapping on the board actually begins to give them some direction of where sound is or what side we're tapping on their body, so learning their lefts from their rights and where they are in space.
It's important to make sure that you introduce the child to this very slowly. It's a good idea to always put your ear on the board. If Anne will demonstrate using her little music box how loud it can be. So without the resonance board and on the resonance board, there's a considerable difference in the sound. It's amplified a lot more. So always risk assess it really yourself. Make sure it's not too loud by putting your ear on the board. Some children really like gentle things, which is like one of these little wobbly men. Other children can be quite high impact children. They really like busy, dizzy things, such as this ball here. So obviously you have to know your child before you introduce anything on the board. I prefer to use things like beads, which are quite useful, which you drape over your child's legs or arms or tummy. And so when they move, the beads make a sound on the board. So a lot of the time you can use resonance boards in drumming activities. So again, being careful to ensure that you know what your drumsticks are going to do. So a hard-edged drumstick can make a really loud, harsh sound. A softer one can make a deader sound.
What's a useful thing to note is that wherever the child is sitting on the board, laying on the board, or whether they've just got their hands or their feet on the board, the tone and the depth of tone will change quite dramatically, and you can increase the sound and that tone. What's really good is to use sort of portable speakers connected to a child's familiar piece of music or an activity, or even some of the games that have got quite a lot of sound, because it then amplifies the sound. So using a simple sort of firework activity, they will actually feel the fireworks surrounding them all the time.
So I think if you talk to anyone in the Children's Specialist Service who work for SENS, they'd say a resonance board is a really important piece of kit. So every home should have one, and every school should have one, and every setting should have one. They're amazing, simple, easy to make, and very accessible pieces of kit for children to use.